Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Valerie David, and this is the night session. Welcome to the InstaGoodness version of our webcast, brought to you by tennisinsideout.com. Tonight's very special guest needs no introduction, so I'll just let her introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm your co-host, Courtney Massey.
Yay!
And yeah, I'm back. And you might recognize my voice and obnoxious laughter from season 1 of the night session. And hopefully you were yaying along with Valerie. And not, oh, this one again.
Oh, man.
This should be a lot of fun.
I hope so. We're trying something new with this InstaGoodness webcast. We're kind of pulling out all this super fun stuff in the tennis world, especially on social media, things that we find crazy or funny, and hopefully you will find funny too, and plus porn.
Of course. I haven't been podcasting for probably a year, and I have missed talking about butts and balls of the tennis.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
this was a last-minute addition.
It really was. I was scrolling through my timeline while she was prepping this. I was like, oh, hey, this seems like a focal point for us.
This seems like something I'd like to cover.
Yeah, and it just like I kind of want to give a message to Rafa right now. Rafa, hi. You don't know me, but if you wouldn't hike your shorts up, you wouldn't have to pick it later. That's just an internet hack for you.
This not only was Rafa like part of the peak thing of Laver Cup, just his enthusiasm and his insane reactions, but this is also X-rated. And then I just love that like Dom looks like he's like having a euphoric experience behind Rafa.
Or sleeping. Or
dead. And Nando is like, I've got my glasses on. I'm not a part of this. I'm just like,
I know, he's like shielding himself.
Yeah.
I don't see this. I see nothing. You cannot question me about this later. Yes.
Don't be a witness.
It's like, hey, Rafa, is it your turn to serve, or are you just happy to see me? It's neither, but still.
It's neither, but this is just, I don't know, just amazing. And I'm like, of course, like staring at it going, exactly what kind of underwear does he have on? It's like, what kind of hem is that?
What kind of hem is that? You are like the fashion one of the show.
Yeah.
You're always on top of those hemlines.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is this the no panty lines thing?
Oh my gosh. Like, the thing is about this position that we're in right now, tennis players keep doing this. Like Andy Murray does this a lot.
Yes.
I don't understand how that is a frustrated reaction. Like, I don't think I've ever done that even as a child. I don't understand why that became a reaction.
Yeah, that's true. It's just like, I'm gonna yank my nuts up to my chin. I don't.
It's such a weird reaction. I mean, I'm thankful for it. If I believed in God, I would thank him for blessing us with these balls. But I don't understand why this is a reaction that people have. It's like a natural. Oh.
Well, maybe some of our male listeners can enlighten us.
Yeah.
Or female, if you're someone that does this, but I think it'd be even more painful for a woman to be yanking your shorts up that way. So
a lot of camels in that sandbox. I don't even know. I don't know.
That analogy just went to it.
I was just like, so many camels in a pen. Where do camels? Like, what do you habitat? What? I didn't know. I didn't I was paving that road as I was going.
Well, and I was gonna say we were going to a dark place, and I'm like, oh, that's really
dark desert.
yep,
That joke. Gosh. So how are we starting?
we're off to a roaring start. Speaking of Andy Murray, you picked this one.
Yeah, I did. We're making a racket still with Andy. Yeah, one of my favorite things, which I've mentioned in past episodes, is the sass that have come out of players and the playfulness and the humor. And this is one of the many tweets or Instagram photos that Andy Murray has done, where he posted this, and Nick Kyrgios, as you can see, commented, "Don't know how I feel about this post," which is kind of a weird comment, but okay.
Yes.
And Andy Murray was like, "Think that bat under my left armpit was the one I used to serve out the match against you at Wimby. Would you like it?" And words cannot express how much I hope that he takes one of those rackets, signs it, and just mails it to Kyrgios. Like, just full troll, just do it.
Here's that racket I was telling you about.
Yeah. And I love the placement, like, you know, the one under my left armpit. And like, you know, I don't know why, this was just funny. And I love everyone's like, and even players are like, oh.
Yeah. Damn.
And it's just great. I just love Andy Murray. And everybody thinks he's humorless, which is always funny to me because he's one of the funniest players on tour.
Yes, absolutely. And he and Kyrgios get along too.
Yeah, they love each other. They're totally friends. This isn't like, I know some fans were like, oh, he got him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you realize this is friendly banter, right? Like, you would take it down a notch.
Yeah, exactly. Let's dial it back.
Yeah. They get so riled up, and I'm like, that wasn't, like, you can tone it down.
Yeah, that was the thing about the Laver Cup too, was that it was really good the first couple days because it was like all this kind of interesting fan interaction that you hadn't gotten before because Roger and Rafa fans were on the same side and stuff like that. And everybody was just kind of enjoying it. Like, it's an EXO, this stuff's all fun. And then like today when people felt that the stakes were raised, so suddenly they started getting all intense and shit. And it's like, it's still an EXO. It's like,
yeah.
Still...
It was funny because people are really pissed. Like a couple tweets. I don't know how many people are really pissed. But I might have exaggerated. But some tweets. Well, I only saw one tweet about this, so maybe there are other tweets out there. But Alexander Zverev, after they won, passed the world locker room and said, "What are you guys celebrating?" And some people were like, "Wow, keep it classy." And it's like, you guys, they're all friends. Like, they're all joking.
Yes.
It's fine. Like, you know, and also, like, with McEnroe, I'm not defending McEnroe usually, most of the time.
Right.
But during a match, he said, "Let's finish this son of a bitch," or something. I don't know. He said something like that.
Yes.
And everybody got really mad because they thought he was, like, being disrespectful to Rafa. And it's like, first of all, he would have said that no matter who was on the court.
Yes.
And second of all, I just laughed because that's such an American thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's such an American, like, competitive, you know, kind of reaction.
Yes.
And it was just trying to pump his team up. And we can argue whether it was classy or not, but I think people got a little too offended from it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times what I was just talking about that with my husband about that. A lot of times people on Twitter and social media and stuff don't seem to get, and it's like it seems to be an American thing where it is that kind of banter, trash talk, sarcasm that's like it's not hostile. It's just how they communicate, and it's, you know, everybody's laughing afterwards. It's like
exactly. And someone was saying how, oh, well, McEnroe was saying how he respected Rafa. Well, I guess that's not true. And it's like, that had nothing to do with Rafa.
Right.
Like, if Isner was on the other court, he would have said it. Like, it was such a just pump you up American mentality that it was really not to be taken seriously. And I mean, McEnroe says some shit. I don't deny that. He says some shit and he's offensive and he's just the weirdest shit comes out of his mouth. Yes. But that was fine. Like that was like low key fine.
Yeah, of all the shit he said, that was like low on the bar was not bad there.
Yeah, that was fine. So yeah, I love the banter, and especially with this Laver Cup, definitely brought it out, which we will talk about throughout this whole episode.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we sprinkled it throughout because it's like there's so much good stuff. We're like, we'll just tease it here and there.
Tease you with it.
Tease you with it. You brought Chris into this too.
I did. I'm a nerd, if you guys didn't know. So of course I geeked out a little bit when Chris Hemsworth during the US Open made this video that he dedicated to Juan Martín del Potro. That was me trying to mock Chris Hemsworth doing the accent that you will hear.
Okay, we're gonna play just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Unloads another forehand. Game point.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm going to need it back, though. Are we rolling? Yep. Hey, this message is for Juan Martín del Potro. I believe you have something in mind, mate, but I got something of yours. So maybe we could do a little trade-off and I could get my hammer back. But after the tennis match that you're playing in the tournament, because it seems to be working out pretty well for you, you're welcome. Because Ragnarok's coming, so I'll need it.
First of all, what racket does he have? It looks like a kid racket that's like a plastic toy.
It's like one of those like a light electric fly swatter things they have.
Yes. Well, he doesn't have his hammer, so maybe he's trying to buzz the enemies like a taser. But yeah, so Chris Hemsworth, somehow, how did this, do you know how Thortro started?
No.
I have no idea how this started, but during the US Open, people started calling Juan Martín del Potro Thortro, and it caught on. And Chris Hemsworth made this video promoting the new Thor movie, but also tying it into tennis. And as you can hear him say, that he is letting Juan Martín borrow his hammer while he borrows his shitty little racket that no pro is going to be playing with. Like seriously, he couldn't go to like a sports store and get like
I was
a sponsored racket.
He makes millions. I'm like, no one around him could go get a racket or had a racket, or it's like, oh my god.
I don't even know where he found that.
No.
Like at Toys R Us? Like it's not even a real racket. It's like a plastic kid thing.
I have this feeling that this was because, like, where the fuck even is this? It's like, it almost seems like they just, hey, let's make this video. And there was like whatever they had lying around that they dug up in a field or something.
Yeah. I mean, I assume this was totally spare of the moment because unless they plan this where they're like, hey, if Del Potro suddenly does well, let's call him Thor.
Right.
I don't know how that started. But that's the thing that's really great about this is I don't know how this started, but then how Chris Hemsworth like got it, like heard about it, and then made this video, and it's just like tennis is alive. Like it was just amazing to me, and I'm a nerd, and I geeked the hell out. And it was funny because when this came out, for OutsideTheBall.com, we were promoting a video that we did with Del Potro where it's like a trivia game where fans, answer trivia questions and try and win a signed racket. And in it, he says who his favorite superhero is. Awkward, not Hemsworth.
Oh, no.
It's Spider-Man, who's not even in the Avengers.
Oops.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Or is he in Avengers? Maybe he's in there like later on.
Yeah, later. Yeah.
Yeah, but not currently. In the movie verse.
Yeah. Well, he had a small appearance. And yeah, Spidey's there, but
Yeah.
it's not Thor.
It's not Thor, so sorry.
Yeah, I just love this because everybody always talks about Delbo's Spear Hand. I mean, that's always a big thing. It's like scorched earth, whenever he hits it. And so to have this video and Chris, it's just like, so it's sublime. It's like you said, for geeks, it's pretty cool stuff when two worlds collide.
Definitely.
And you and I both loved Sloane for this InstaGoodness episode, so
Absolutely.
we're gonna show this little gem.
All that hard work to hand you a prize money check for $3.7 million.
Still, having done this once, does it give you a hunger to win another slam, to do this again, feel this feeling again? Of course, girl. Did you see that check that lady handed me? Like, yes.
Oh man, I love her so much. I love it. Finally, a spokesperson who just tells it like it is, right? None of that, oh yeah, for the love of the game. And it's just like, yo, do you see that paper? I'll be back.
I love this so much. Me and Valerie, like, we talked about this so much. Like, before it ended up on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah, who I'm also a comedy nerd. So I was so excited when anytime, a comedian talks about tennis. But she was just amazing. Like, the entire time.
Yes.
And all of her reactions.
Yes, and the way they cut this was so perfect because when she was like that, like yeah, and then they come and it's this picture of her with the check. It's just like so perfect, and it was her and Maddie actually through that whole ceremony. Maddie was trying to steal the check from her, and I mean, it's just
it was really great because it's funny because Sloane was in such shock she wouldn't take the check.
Yeah.
And Madison was like, don't worry, I'll hold it. Like, it's okay. You can freak out.
I'll be your accountant. I'll handle the money.
But it's, oh my gosh, it was so funny. And I love his face, like, after the clip.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his face was all of us. And Twitter exploded and there were memes. And this picture that's up there now, like, there's one meme that says receipts. Like, everything about this, like, I struggled so hard not to retweet everything about this because it's so funny. Like, yeah, like, look at that money. Are you kidding me? And I also love that part of the ceremony that she didn't kill herself, that she trying to get to her box like everybody else does.
Yes.
And she went through the crowd like, oh, I ain't doing that. I ain't killing myself.
Yeah, they put that little like step ladder out, and she gave that a look like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I was just off for 6 months with a foot injury.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna scale a wall like Spider-Man.
Exactly. Also, did you see this episode of The Daily Show?
No.
Because in this episode, before he got to Sloane, he mentioned Rafa Nadal and Kevin Anderson. And Kevin Anderson and Trevor Noah are both from South Africa.
Oh, right.
So his very brief joke about this was, so Rafa Nadal beat a South African, so screw him. And he moved on.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
He moved on to Sloane, and it was so good. It was so good.
And there was such a difference too, because when Rafa won, they gave him that check, and he just like folded it in half and stuffed it in his pocket like it was, like a dollar bill.
I know. And Sloane was like, "What? Oh my God!" Like Sloane is us. Sloane is all of us. If someone hands us a check for $3 million, where Rafa's just like, "Oh, yeah, thank you."
Yeah, pocket change. I can go buy some gum with this later.
Just like,
yeah, it's just like, So we love Sloane. Sloane's good for tennis.
Totally.
He's got a lot of personality. This was another gem part of Laver Cup. Was honestly a couple of years ago, I thought the whole Fettel bromance was dead.
Really?
Yeah, because Rafa, it was actually like probably like 4 years ago or so when Rafa left the council in a huff, and he was mad at Roger, and it took them like 2 years to kind of get over that, and I was like, oh, we'll never get to see Smushy, Fettle again, and
Mushy.
the last couple of years, they've been turning it back up again, and Laver Cup was just. This is the one you really like.
Yeah, this is the photo that I highlighted because, okay, this photo reminds me of, when you're in the car with your mom and she has to brake really quickly, so she puts her arm out to because she thinks that's going to stop you from going through the windshield.
Yes.
And so that just seems like he had to brake real fast. It was like, oh, hang on, Roger. Or, I mean, Rafa. And, one of the R's. And... But it just seemed like a very parental, like, I gotta protect you.
Yeah. There's another one too that turned up where Roger was grabbing Dom's leg, and Dom's look on his face was like, "Oh my God, Roger's touching me." And
then there's another one where Roger's grabbing Rafa by the shirt, and but it's funny because when I get excited, I too will grab and shake whoever's next to me.
Yes.
So again, these athletes are just like us, y'all.
Yes, except just with millions and millions and millions more dollars.
Yeah, except for that.
But I am a total knee grabber, so this just cracked me up because I'm like, this is like scary part of a movie or a funny part of a movie. I am a knee grabber. So
I hope this turns into a meme, like horror movie. Like they just saw it.
They just saw it. This one's good too with the Rafa eyebrow, but they just saw it. Or Rafa's face does look like that.
And Roger's all like, I got you. It's fine.
But he is in the sewer. I am afraid.
That's the balloons, no?
Balloons. Oh my God. Let's riff on that for an hour. I had to absolutely include this because it was like 15 minutes before the match, and they were showing those behind the scenes clips where they were having these intense discussions about their tennis strategy and all that, and they were saying which side should they play on, and Rafa goes, "Oh, I can play either side," and I went, "That's because Rafa plays doubles like a singles player. He just plays the ball, and you have to get the fuck out of his way." And we get into this match and he nearly kills Roger. And Roger's super fear pose. I was just gonna say Roger's super fear pose just kills me. Eek!
Oh crap. Abort mission.
Abort.
Yeah. And it's funny because my favorite part of this also is that Roger has been tweeting all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, in this one, he posted the same GIF with "watch out." And then in another one where he missed a shot, he missed a forehand, and he's like, "Oh, just testing Rafa's reaction time." And did an eye roll emoji.
Oh no.
And I don't we've talked about this. I don't know how much of Roger does his own social media.
Right.
But it's pretty amazing, whoever does it.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're going to have somebody doing your social media, it would be nice if they can at least approximate something that you would say or do. And Roger's social media seems to fit his personality with kind of dorky puns and emojis and, goofy
lots of
stuff.
emojis.
Yeah, and it seems like something that, they are picking up on things that he would say or do, or maybe, whatever. That it's good. It's a lot of times people's social media, it's nothing like them, or it's just super PR crap or whatever. And Rogers, I at least feel like maybe he's got some hand in it.
Yeah. Definitely.
He's leaning over somebody's shoulder going, do that one.
There's all these drafts with different tweets. And Roger's I like this one.
There you go. Oh, no, we're not going to talk about that. So this one I liked. I liked the picture itself, which we'll get to, but I also like this person's take on it. Was what makes it great is that someone without any context, background knowledge probably would have a hard time figuring out who married who. And this picture, it's just amazing. It's like, I was thinking, I'm like, I could write so much fanfic about this. And then I realized I already have written it in my head. I've always felt like Rafa would, would suit this type of story.
Oh my gosh.
So I have ideas.
First of all, they're adorable. Second of all, I looked at this and I go, wait, is that real? Is that Photoshop? Like, I seriously was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And it's just so perfect because it is. It's like, who's with who? And, and also like this, like some of the like most natural, happy I've seen Rafa.
Yeah.
And not with his own girlfriend.
Yeah.
Which is always one of my things, it's like a lot of Rafa fans are always like, oh, he and his girlfriend are like so perfect. And I'm like, are they? I don't It's like this looks a lot more like warm and interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to go right. I'll be back.
I do think it's funny. Like everybody with Mark always looks really lovey-dovey with Mark.
Yeah.
Like, I think he just brings out that cuddly loviness out of everybody. Because, like, all of him and Felly's photos, and, like, he just brings out, like, a sense of love.
Yes. Which is a very nice trait to have.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny, this photo does remind me. I have a photo of me with Ernest and another Latvian player, Carlos, who's the captain for their Davis Cup. And in the photo, my mom always comments on this. It looks like me and Ernest are together taking a photo with Carlos. And it's pretty amazing. And in my head, again, fan fiction.
Yes.
That's how it is.
That's what's always going on in our head. We are always writing fan fiction of some sort.
Always. Oh
and tennis boys seem to be very helpful with that.
Yes, they kind of play into it.
Yes, definitely.
Like, they kind of fight it sometimes, but then other times they fully play into it. Oh, my dogs are fighting. Sorry if you can hear that.
They're excited about this picture too.
Yes, they're all just trying to see it. They're like, me first, me first,
me first. You brought Stan into this one.
I did. I brought Stan. Well, Valerie made me fall in love with Stan, and I will forever love and hate her for this. But yeah, he did these. The Evian theme this year is like oversized. So there's oversized hoodies and oversized chairs and oversized hat umbrellas. And he just looks so happy with his little hat umbrella. It's probably like, it's not even raining. What the hell?
I know, that's when I originally saw this photo. I'm like, Stan just looks like he's like, why are you making me do this?
Yeah, like he was up on the chair and that was happy. He was happy with the height.
Yeah. Yes.
But the umbrella, he's like, it's not even raining. What the hell?
He's going, this is how a hat fits Shapovalov, and we all make fun of him.
Oh, snap. It's the shade. All the shade.
All the shade. Oh my god. But yeah, Stan's like Rafa. It's like his face is worth 1,000 words. It's always just like, whoa. He can't hide his emotions.
Yeah, no, he really can't. But seriously, that should be a meme about Stan with shade. Like throwing out shade to people.
Yes.
Absolutely. That should be a meme. Do it, Internet.
Actually, we used that in a previous podcast. I have another regular umbrella shot of Stan. One of the ones Peter and I did.
That was a good idea because you already did it.
Exactly. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, and I totally listen to all of your podcasts I'm not on.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Just listening constantly.
Totally, all the time. I'm a huge fan. Like that umbrella hat.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
This one slayed me. It's just like so Grigor. It's like I'm gonna stick my head in the trophy. What's down there? And then it's also I'm thinking it's like, okay, is he like trying to smoke something in there? He found some good kukushkin. I don't know.
Kukushkin callback.
I think that's from our first podcast.
Oh my gosh, was it?
I think
I
so.
just remember Wimbledon was on fire.
Yes.
That's all I remember. But the thing, okay, about this photo, the thing, it is funny because you don't have to put your head all the way in it to see what's inside. You could just gently tip it. You don't have to put your head like you're Winnie the Pooh in a jar of honey. Like,
maybe they put some champagne in there. I don't know.
but that's not. Does he have a straw? That's not even how you drink. Unless he has a silly straw in there, that's not going to help. Unless he's lapping it up like a dog.
Well, that I would believe. Well, and somebody said they're like, evidently he has a really small face. It's not like that trophy's that big. This whole head is in there.
I mean, would it be really bad if I made a joke? We could ask Maria.
Oh!
Get it?
Yeah.
It's an inappropriate sex joke.
Yay! We're back.
Yeah, and it's always me going, should I say this? How, on a level 1 to 10, how bad would it be to imply that Gregor stuffed his face somewhere? Love you.
And also comments on the side of his head. There's all kinds of things going on here.
Yeah.
And also I love the foreground of this picture. It's like some little ballet moves going on while Grigor's sniffing the trophy. I
don't know what that move's called. I want to say pirouette, but
yeah, that sounds right. That's what we'll call it.
It starts with a P, which is most of our podcast.
Oh my god. So, hey, it's Sloane again. Okay, I need to turn the volume up for this one, and you'll find out why the sound is low, because Sloane disappears for a minute.
That's my main thing. So if anyone ever asks anything, I always, oh my god. Oh! Ah! What is that thing? Oh my god, like a dragon. That was a lot. I'm so sorry. Oh! Oh my god. I gotta tell it now. That is so disgusting. Tell it now. Okay, that was so disgusting. Wow. My bad. No, I don't think so. Okay. Sorry. What was the question? I don't even know. Okay.
Every time she does it's a dragon.
First of all, that is the world's smallest dragon. No. You can't even see it. Like, I mean, you can see something flying around, but you can't, like, what is that, a moth? Like, you can't even tell.
I don't know. And she's under the desk. So it's just like, you just hear the disembodied voice going, it's like a dragon.
And you hear the thud as she goes on the ground. But my favorite thing about this is ESPN posted this on like SportsCenter or something. And one of the ESPN sportscasters, as soon as they played the clip, and as soon as the clip was over, he goes, she hit the deck. And like, that was the funniest thing to me.
Oh god, sorry, I was trying to pause it. It's like, here's the vision of the empty chair.
And she hit the deck, man. It's funny because like I'm deathly allergic to bees. So like I'm with you, girl. Like I'm with the struggle of flying things. I dragon seems a little bit strong.
I know. Well, it was so funny because this was not long after we saw her in Cincy, and she was, because of the rain delay, they stuck her back on court 4 for this match, which is this like tiny court that's at the end of the tournament. So there's like a lot of shrubbery and stuff, and there's always all kinds of flies and all kinds of junk back there. And she goes up to the line to serve, and all of a sudden she does this kind of same thing like you see in this video, and it's like, what the hell is that? And there was a praying mantis on the court.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of praying mantises in Cincy.
Yeah, and she was just looking at it like, it's a dragon. It's just like,
it's a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur. And one of the ball kids had to come and take it away. And she's like, as they were running off court with it, she gave them like a wide berth, like like this thing was gonna escape and attack her.
During a match, I can't even remember what match it was. I wish I would have looked it up, but there was something on the court and a ball kid had to kill it, and he was kind of chasing it for a little while, because that's always funny to watch ball kids chase insects. Yeah. So he had to chase it for a little while, and Racket Magazine retweeted the post about the ball kid having to get it and went, "Get him, Derry!" from a callback from the social media video of the Irish family trying to get the bat out of their house.
Oh, no.
And if you haven't seen this video, I mean, just type in Irish family tries to get bat out of their house. I don't know, but it's worth a look.
Oh,
and
my God.
Video, the old man's trying to get the bat, and the commentator's going, "Get him, Derry! You almost got him. He's like McGregor. He has no legs left." And then the dog starts peeing on the floor in the background.
Oh.
And then the woman's behind the door, like being protected. And he's like, "Maureen, you're no help behind the door." It's chaotic. It's amazing. And they reference that to tennis of the ball kids trying to get the bugs. And it's hilarious. I assure you. If you haven't seen the video, go after you watch this.
Okay. Absolutely. That's a recommendation. That's your rec from this podcast. Oh my God. Oh, and this is more good stuff from Laver Cup, which you brought us this one.
I did. It's these courtside celebrations that Team World came up with. I really wish I could be in the powwow room to hear like what they threw out. What they thought. That's too stupid. I'm not going to do it. But I love this. I love this. I love everything they did. I loved all of them for this because I love silly. I love ridiculous. But it just seemed like they kind of, going into this, despite the fact that all of the members from Team World have been playing really well this year, they kind of went into this as the underdogs. And I don't think anybody really expected Team World to win. So I felt like they figure, hey, we're not going to win. Let's win in our celebrations and get attention from courtside. And they were victorious in that.
Yes. And it was so funny because it was such a thing like, oh, kids, because they were doing that. The floor is lava. And they interviewed T-Mac during one of those things. And he goes, yeah, the floor is lava, whatever that means. It's just like we don't know what they're doing. I'm just going along with it.
Who said this?
Patrick McEnroe.
Oh, okay.
They were interviewing him. He was just like, "Oh, the floor is lava." Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. He's like, "I'm too old for this shit. I don't know." Some of the kids are doing.
Yeah, and Query was in on this one, but there were some of them too where Query was like, I don't know why we're here or what we're doing. My favorite one, though, was when Isner picked up Dennis, and Dennis was a basket, and someone slam dunked it.
I didn't know what that was at first because I couldn't see the basket that he created.
At
first I was like, is he hitting his chest? What the hell is that? But then I saw a different angle and I was like, oh, he's a basket. Okay.
Okay, it's just like it's interpretive dance. You have to
it really is. I'm like, what is that move? What are they mimicking? I don't know. It's up for interpretation.
I just like that about what are the ones they decided not to do. It's like, oh my God.
But also, I love the fact the differences in the teams, because the videos, they have, Team Europe in the locker room discussing, like you said, what side of the court Roger and Rafa are going to be on and what their strategies are. And Team World's back there going, okay, so Dennis is going to be a basket. Like, get this right. And then I'm going to go on the floor, and like the floor is lava, right?
Oh, I wish they would have shown that round table. It would have been a lot more interesting.
Right? That's the round table I want to see. Like, strategy, that's fine and dandy. But, like, I want to go through the list of, like, what they came up with. And surely they had to be like, oh, we can't do that. What I want to know what was too ridiculous. Or, And they did, like, the arrow where they shot each other with imaginary arrows, like Robin Hood.
Yes.
And, and then sometimes they were on the ground. I had no idea what they were doing. They were just, like, it was like the worm, but not really.
Yes, I don't know what that was.
Or maybe they tried to do the worm, and then they realized midway, oh, I can't do the worm. It was a bad idea.
Bad plan, bad plan.
Abort! Yeah, so... That was amazing.
So that was, and this leads us to, unbelievably, this may be the most popular tweet I have ever done, because I captured Dominic's, getting the handshakes from everybody, and I was just laughing because when he got to Sasha, it's this once again, I hope they had a round table to figure out how to do this complicated handshake.
I wonder how long it would have taken him to get around if they all came up with their own different handshakes.
That would have been awesome.
And they're just like, okay, the match needs to start again. Hold on.
You got to think Dom was back there going, okay, come on, can we do separate handshakes for everybody? And they're like, oh no, we're Team Europe. We're too cool for that.
We're too sophisticated for that. You need to go to Team World for that shit.
Yeah. I think they asked Rafa something about that in press about, what do you think of these, celebrations, and are you going to do something similar or whatever? And he said something like, oh, they're all very young.
Yeah, they're kids.
They're kids. I don't have anything to do with them.
But it's funny because Roger is very playful. And
yes.
And I feel like Roger kind of does silly things.
Yes.
I feel like he probably would have done it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Where Roger is like, no, we have to be sophisticated, and only jump up and down and grab each other.
And pull our shorts up really high.
Yeah, sophisticated stuff. Pulling my shorts up to my neck. Real classy.
I think Armani would approve, no?
Oh, that's true. You got to get that sponsor money.
That's right.
That don't count.
Oh, speaking of fashion, this was a perfect segue. This was in Tokyo, I believe. We don't know what's going on here. The dress code is a mystery.
No, and I said it looks like every single one of them got a different memo.
Yes.
Of what the party is supposed to be. And is it a party? I didn't even know what they were doing. Is this like a player party? Is this a bra ceremony? I don't even know. But it's just like Naomi looks like she's in Miami.
Yes.
Which isn't a bad look, but it just looks like she's in Miami.
Right.
And some of this is like very casual.
Like picnic clothes.
Like,
or I clean out the garage clothes in Daria's case.
Just got off the farm.
She's gonna move some bales of hay later.
Yeah, and like Sibakova just came back from homecoming
in Vegas.
It just seems like, and I'm not saying like who's bad or who's not. It's just the fact that they all look like they're at a different location.
Yes. The pictures were all just cut from other things. And
Yeah, it just looks like they're all somewhere else. And they went, oh shit, we have to take a photo together. Like, it just didn't make any sense at all. Like, Garbine's a little bit, business casual, like
yes,
at a meeting.
Yes, and in the girls that are less dressed up, it's like they have that look on their face, like I didn't get the same memo they all got.
Like poor Daria looks so depressed.
Yes,
like she looked around, and it also doesn't help that she's standing next to someone who is very dressed up.
Yeah, it's whoever put this photograph together. It's like, yeah, you could have like made like more of a segue or something between how people are dressed.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you got overalls, like type of deal going on. Like you got everything.
Yes. It's like H&M, fashion to like runway stuff to, like you said,
Target. To
Walmart. To Walmart. No, it's called vintage. Vintage off the rack. That's what we call it.
Off the rack separates?
Yes. So
that was a Good Place reference for anybody that watches The Good Place.
Yes, that's true.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so we're not going to The Good Place after this podcast.
The Good Place doesn't exist. Oh, well, here it might.
Oh, speaking of good places, yeah, Tom has lots of good places. I'm excited about this because this is maybe one of the best pictures I've ever taken. It was just like a super sunny day when Dom was practicing, and he started with his shirt on, so it was kind of like, I'll take some Dom pictures. I'm just eating lunch, because this was on the court that's got the deck on it with the little tables and umbrellas and stuff. And it's like, oh, cool, Dom's here. I'll get some photos. And then all of a sudden, it's like you can see everyone's attention is riveted on the court. And it's like, oh my God. Someone finally took their shirt off. It's like everyone always has photos of shirtless practices from Cincy, and I'm never at them. It's like,
really?
Yeah, I've missed so many. It's like I've gotten Nando and Felly and Coley as somebody who's like shirtless like 24 hours a day. So
yeah, I will never forgive myself for leaving just when Ernest came on the court and took his shirt off in practice. And he never does this.
Exactly.
Not once. He never takes the shirt off. And then when he does, I'm not here. And then the next day, I went up to him and I was like, yeah, I missed your practice yesterday. You should totally text me the next time you're practicing so I don't miss it. And he actually took my number. I didn't expect him to. And we didn't end up texting. So like nothing came of it. It's nothing scandalous or exciting. But just the fact that he like took my number and like it was really funny. And then the next day he had one of his friends tell me when he was practicing. But yeah, but I just love how the next day I was just like, so I missed your practice. I didn't say like you were shirtless, how dare you.
Yeah, exactly.
I controlled myself, but I did kind of be like, yeah, you should tell me when you're practicing, dude.
Yeah,
because I don't want to do this again. This is torture.
Yeah. Tell me when you're taking your clothes off, for God's sake.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm beating myself up over this.
Exactly. So I was excited about this, and because I took probably 4,000 photos of Dom, we've started up on our new Instagram. I'm pimping it out. Shirtless Dom Wednesday. So if you like this wonderful, abtastic, sweaty goodness, visit our Instagram, because there's just every Wednesday we're gonna have something delicious like this, and then we also post other pictures of other players. So, but this is the pinnacle. This is what you want to be there for.
He's glistening. I mean,
I know. I was dying when especially you could like blow it up on your phone, or what it's like. there's just, you can see every little droplet of sweat on him. It's amazing. And he's actually kind of giving me side eye a little bit too while I'm taking this picture. It's like, you're taking a sex photo of me, aren't you?
Dominic is not the only thirsty one in that photo.
That's right. And I honestly, normally I do not take pictures of players eating and drinking because I know I don't like people taking pictures of me eating or drinking. But this one was like just such like a pure sex moment that I'm like, I'm sorry, it has to be done. I'm a responsible photojournalist. This is a moment that
damn it.
I am credentialed. This is something that's important news.
Yes.
Oh, so there's some Dommy love for you. And speaking of things that need to be captured, this is like your lava on the floor.
Yeah, and speaking of face plants.
And getting close to the worm, I don't know. It's like,
Is
what
it a human
is
centipede
this?
worm? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, no.
Why are two of you doing it?
And just like the way this has been captured, it's like NK looks a little orgasmic there. I'm just like,
It's like
I'm
Francis is trying to listen for his heart, but miss this guy a little bit.
I know.
Are you still alive? I can't hear your heartbeat.
Oh, I'm getting a pulse. It's really strong.
Like, I feel something throbbing. I'm still alive.
Oh my god. I am gonna guess that, because they were doing a lot of falling down. I guess that this wasn't their intended landing place.
No, I don't think that made the table. I don't think it made the table talk.
Oh my god. Oh, and by the way, as you can see, Peter tweeted this. Peter, who has done the podcast with me a couple times, he sent me this tweet so that it's worth sharing. So here it is.
Yeah, it's like Francis is listening to his balls like a seashell at the shore.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that about Grigor with the trophy too.
Put your whole face into a seashell.
It's Grigor. He doesn't know.
Yeah. We should take him to the beach one day.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's find out. Just put a bunch of seashells around and see what he does.
Put his face in it. Oh my god. Hopefully it'll be a shell that doesn't still have somebody in it when he puts his face in there. Ah!
I was thinking about that because our first ever night session, I think I made a graphic with Stan on a beach, and I put a crab in it, and Valerie was like, I don't like what you're implying with that crab. I'm like, I'm not. God. It was the theme. It was a beach theme. I only had so many graphics.
Oh, I forgot about that. It was like, what do you mean with these crabs?
Not everything is a message.
Oh, no. That might have, maybe that shouldn't have made the round table either.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And you put this lovely gem in from Roger.
I did. A very good gem it is. Well, not for that guy.
No.
Yeah. I mean, of course, a guy getting hit in the balls is always going to be funny. And, Venus accidentally hit a bald man.
Yes.
in his balls. But the funniest thing about this is Roger tweeting it and with his emojis and saying, help to the jewels. Like tennis ball plus jewel equals SOS. And just the fact that Roger tweeted this just killed me. And again, I said earlier, I hope that was him. I hope that wasn't his social media manager. I hope that was all Roger, where he saw that and went, oh, that's funny, I'm going to post it.
I said that does seem like something Roger would do. Roger, a lot of times, I think people tend to think of, ooh, suave Roger and stuff, and they don't realize that, he can swear like a truck driver and have a filthy sense of humor. Like,
and he's a dweeb. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't realize this. I think I would have liked Roger a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm out of
Um,
water. But yeah, I think I would have liked him a lot sooner if I knew how dweeby he actually was.
and I don't know, the cock here is making a Game of Thrones joke, which I haven't watched it since season 2, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but
No, I don't get it.
it's interesting that the cock was the first person to reply to this post.
I didn't even notice that until you said it.
Yeah. The cock was interested.
It's like his bat signal.
It's like his bat signal. Somebody's talking. He should be listening to our podcast then. We're always talking about cock.
Say cock 3 times and he will come.
Oh. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So we got through all of our InstaGoodness.
We did, and I feel like it wasn't 3 hours. I feel like it was kind of manageable, and it was mostly about cock.
Yes.
So I feel like it hopefully people will enjoy that sort of ear penetration.
And will feel compelled to flop on the floor or stick their face in a vase. I don't know.
Stick their face in a vase. Oh my gosh, it's like, you know, of Elf on a Shelf? Now face in a vase.
Face in a vase.
That's great.
And we began the podcast with Rafa, and now we've got Roger hiking Rafa's shorts up.
They're just not meant to be down, man. You can't keep Rafa. I can't. You know what? They cannot keep playing doubles together because there's too many R's in the room.
Too many R's. Better.
Exactly. Like he has like 2 R's that aren't necessary in his own name.
You have to do Fed and Rafa, then that makes it less difficult to mix up. I can't speak anymore, but
I can't either. It's just whatever.
I think that's a good note to end on. So thank you, Courtney, for
having me back.
This was awesome. We got to talk about cock and balls and some tennis.
It's like I never
dragons. It's like you never left. So thank you everyone for listening, and this has been the Night Session.